Hello and welcome to my review of the new Alien film, I Am Number 4, starring Alex Pettyfer, Timothy Olyphant, and Diana Argan. This movie centers on John, a teenage alien who's been living on Earth all his life with his protector, Henry. They're on Earth because his planet was wiped out by this evil alien race called the Magadorians. And as the title suggests, he is number 4, meaning there are 9 survivors of the attack who are all scattered across Earth, and they can only be killed in sequence. And he is the 4th one. And now that 1, 2, and 3 are dead, they're coming after him. Oh yeah, and he's in high school. Exciting. This is the next attempt by studios to take up the mantle of the next big fantasy franchise. But how does it measure up to some of its competitors? Does it measure up to Harry Potter? Nope. Does it measure up to Twilight? Yeah, but not the way they would have liked. And it's a damn shame, too. Because this time, it's personal. I actually read and liked the book that this movie is based on. But more on that later. First thing I'm going to take issue with here is all of the actors. They all sucked. Alex Pettyfer is terrible. He is an on-screen Vulcan. He sucks all the emotion out of anything that he could have been saying. There's no charisma, there's no swagger, there's no anything that makes you like or care about his character at all. He's just a bland rock on screen. And he's just terrible. Timothy Olyphant, who's an actor I normally like, he does not want to be here at all. He's collecting a paycheck. He was hired as a replacement for Sharlto Copley, and it really shows. He says his lines with this just... I could just tell that he just did not want to be there. He was given the most ridiculous lines to say because he plays kind of the mentor to Alex Pettyfer's character. And he, like, any actor who has to deliver the line, "The Magadorians are after us," I wouldn't want to be there either. The love interest was bland. The bully was, wow, terrible casting there. Sam, who's like Pettyfer's friend, he's actually the one okay one. But the person who's just really terrible is Kevin Durand, who, once again, a pretty good actor if given the right role. But in this film, he plays the main Magadorian villain, and he's hilarious. He's supposed to be playing one of these really over-the-top, like, sickly enjoying the torture of other people type villains, but he just goes way over the top. I mean, there's this one scene in particular where he's about to torture this guy with this weird spinning ball blade device, and he's like, "Do you want to play with my toy? 'Cause it wants to play with you." One of the least intimidating on-screen villains I've seen in a long time. This is a terrible, awful script. Now, the book was cliched too, so I'm not going to hold that against it. But the book at least took its time to somewhat develop its characters, to somewhat just explain the backstory, and to kind of give you a sense of the culture of this alien species, and like to show you the relationship between Henry and John, and it made you care about John, and it made you... Overall, it just made me care. This film is so fast-paced, and they just speed on right through the story without developing anything. It feels like the movie just can't decide what it wants to be. It can't decide if it wants to be a romance or a big Michael Bay action film or something in between. It just moves so quickly that nothing feels right. The action has no real weight to it. The romance feels so forced, like you wouldn't believe. Like, I'd have to like spoil this movie entirely if I'd get into exactly why the romance is so terrible and so forced. But it just, everything about this script, it's just horribly assembled and put together. Anything that was once cool or seemed cool in the book is just handled so badly here that it makes me almost, it really pisses me off when they just don't know what to do with the story. And what pisses me off even more, this was a book written to be a movie. They were shooting this film before the book was even published. So this book was basically written as a script. So that means that the filmmaker should have actually, I don't know, read it. This movie is directed by DJ Caruso, who I normally really like. I've seen a couple movies by him. I've seen Disturbia and I've seen Eagle Eye. And in both of those films, he not only makes likable characters and a good story, but he directs action and suspense very, very well. And the one positive thing I can say about this movie is that occasionally there will be a cool action scene he really can direct action. He directs it very well, shoots it well. There's some cool, like, superhero-y type moments, but it just turns into something so stupid that even though he's filming it well and it's like it's well shot, that doesn't change the fact that it's just dumb. This movie is directed by DJ Caruso, who's previously done 2 films that I've seen, Disturbia and Eagle Eye. I really like both of those movies, and I really like him. He seems like a good director. He can really shoot action scenes. And the one positive thing I can say about this movie is that he does shoot action scenes very well. Everything looks good. There's some nice kind of hand-to-hand combat scenes, some cool superhero-ish powers, but even the action scenes are flawed. These are some of the worst special effects I've seen in a movie in recent years. I haven't been this taken out of a film by the herky-jerky movements of the characters since Catwoman, and that's saying something. Also, there are some CGI monsters in here that look as bad as the CGI monsters in either Dragon Wars or Percy Jackson and the Olympians. They just have this terrible pasted-in looking look, and they never seem to ever be really interacting with the environment. They look like computer effects that were superimposed in at the last minute. Overall, this really isn't much good I can say about this film. It's pretty awful. It not only is it a butchering of a pretty good book, but it's just another example of the cynical studio idea that you can just throw in the same cliches we've seen 100 times before, do a crappy version of it, and make money. They've learned a few times that we don't go for this, but I don't know, they still keep making them. So, I am going to give I'm Number 4 a 1.5 out of 4. Ha ha ha. Just because it had a couple moments that I thought were kind of cool, and because I just have an appreciation for the story that it originally was. If you want to see aliens? Wait a couple weeks. Battle Los Angeles is almost here.